Hello everyone and welcome back to another single button build. Today we're going to talk about the Protection Paladin single button build. Today in this video we're going to go through the intro, the stats, the talents, the rotation and the gameplay. In case you want the export code for both my talents and also the UI, you can find it on my Discord. You'll find the link in the description of the video, and in there you will be able to find a room that is called Protection Paladin where both the UI and the talent will be in there for like an export code in case you want this. But this build is about having fun. It's a casual build that is very focused on the single button assistant. As you can see here, if we open up the spell book, you can see we have the single button assistant, which is using these spells. And this build is totally tailored around using this button, making the button the strongest as possible. So I think you're gonna love it. So if you're looking for a laid back tank spec, like imagine you're afraid of being a tank because you're like, oh my god, this might be a bit hard. I don't really feel confident in it, but my friends could really use a tank. Then this build is for you. This build is really for you getting confident about tanking, having fun with tanking. You can do normal dungeons, heroic dungeons, time walking raid, looking for raid. I would even say you could do mythic dungeons like +1, 2, 3 maybe. And you could even do Delve 11. Like you can do all the Delve levels without any issues with this build. It is solo friendly, group friendly, raid friendly, of course in the casual level. This is not for the +10 key runners, if you know what I mean. This is for us casual gamer dads, gaming moms, whoever. Like you don't have to be a parent, but you know what I mean. So I think that fits the intro on what this build is about. But let's jump to the next section, which is the stats. Talking about stats, so basically, as my other videos, we have the stats that I recommend, and we also have the stats that most meta websites recommend. In my case, what I recommend is using first strength. And again, strength is of course a stat that we would have in all our gear. It doesn't matter what gear piece you're looking at. All of it is basically having strength, which is a good thing, of course. But what I'm meaning with this is that if you, for example, get a hands, which is like 5 eye level higher than what you have, then you should go with the highest eye level, because the main stat of strength and stamina is more important than getting a bit more crit or get a bit more haste. That's my opinion. That's also what I read in a lot of other guides, and especially for this like build here. Of course, if you are a pro raider and so on, they might have like another opinion about this. But my opinion would be with go always highest eye level, and then when you have 2 items that is the same eye level, you know, for example, if both your items is a champion item like a adventure or explorer, or, you know, whatever item it is, if it's the same eye level, the same skull, then of course you can look at then the stats here, as you can see here. What I recommend first is haste. The reason why I recommend haste is because we have so many abilities which is getting reduced cooldown from haste. For example, Avenging Shield, you can see here that it has like a green cooldown. That means haste is actually reducing it. So we have Avenging Shield, Blessed Hammer, we even have where was the next one? Here, oh here. Judgment is also reduced from it. As you can see here, Judgment is also green. Consecration is green. And I think Blessed Hammer is as well, but green. So basically, what it does is haste is reducing our global cooldown, which is of course nice because it makes the global cooldown less. Because when you use the single button rotation, it punishes you with a 25% increase in your global the global cooldown of builds is used through single button assistant is 25% longer. So of course, the more haste we have, the shorter we also makes this global cooldown punishment. Also, it will of course make your spell queues faster, and also your spells will have a shorter cooldown, which we like. Because, for example, Avenger Shield is going to give us a shield. It basically absorbs 60% of the damage, absorbing 6% of the damage as it dealt. So basically, that means every time you use Avenging Shield, it basically shields. It gives a shield. Like it deals a lot of damage. It's great for like starting a pull and so on, but it also gives a shield. The more haste, the more often we can use it. Stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, again, haste is good for this build. In a build, a normal build, if you don't follow this guide here, you would normally go for crit because it deals more damage. It gives more heal. It gives, like, whenever you like crit with your shield, it gives more like more shield back to you. But also, like, the main reason most take crit is because of the damage that your spells do. But yeah, of course, that's the two difference. Again, I would say crit and haste is both good, so go with whichever you want. Then you have versatility and mastery. In my build, I recommend versatility first because it flat down gives you more damage. You deal more damage, you take less damage, and you deal more healing. Mastery, in that case, is a bit more special. Mastery is basically increasing the chance to block melee attacks, while inside consecration, your damage taken is reduced by 12%, and you have a chance to equal your block chance to reduce damage taken from harmful periodic effects. Also increase your attack power by 28%. So normally people recommend having mastery higher. I'm a bit like, I'm not really sure about this one here because versatility gives me more damage, it gives me more healing, it reduces the damage I get, which I feel is way more solo friendly, way more let me carry the group friendly, more casual friendly, where mastery, I would say crit and mastery is a stats that's really good if you have like an organized group and you play it at high tiers and all that stuff. Then I think crit and mastery is great. But for like this single button build, I think haste and versatility is supreme. So just saying it, that's just my opinion about the stats. But again, you can see that's the normal stats, which mostly everyone else is recommending. And then you have the stats that my build, the single button build, is recommending. But that's the stats, so let's move on to the talents. So when it comes to talents, my talent is close to some of the meta builds, but I have adjusted a few things which I personally feel is better for the single button build, for solo gameplay, for carrying gameplay, for like self-sustain, so you actually you could survive without a healer for a longer time, so that when you do random dungeons, heroic dungeons, time walking, looking for raid, it's nice to be able to self-heal you quite good. So I have not taken any of the talents where you basically increase the healing on other people, because this build is all about self-healing, self-sustain, being just this OP tank that can like carry your group. Which in my opinion is what the single button build is about, like really strong self-sustaining tank. So some of the highlights I have changed, if we start with the hero tree in the middle, is basically I have taken Divine Guidance instead of Blessed Assurance. Blessed Assurance is basically casting a Holy Power ability, increase the damage and healing of your next Blessed Hammer by 200%, which of course is cool. Blessed Hammer is the spell that basically kind of like Diablo, it spins around you and deals damage. But, that's fine. But in my opinion, for each Holy Power ability cast, your next Consecration deals 400k damage, or healing immediately split across all enemies and allies. So basically it deals more damage, like boom, to everyone around you, but also healing, which I find pretty cool, personally. So yeah, I would say this one here is really, really single button friendly, because it's just like so cool with some extra big damage and healing. Especially when we cannot control always which spells to use. It's nice that whenever you use Consecration, it makes it like a very big AoE spell. Beside of that, we also have this one here. When you and an ally are wielding a Holy Bulwark, are healed above maximum health, transfer 100% of overhealing to your ally. When you and an ally wielding a sacred weapon drop below 40% health, redistribute your health immediately and every 1 second for 4 seconds. So basically this one is like helping with overhealing, more healing, and basically what this means is you have this spell here from this hero talent tree called Holy Bulwark. When you have it on and you get overhealed or healed, it basically spreads out, which I personally feel is pretty cool. You could also take this one here, but that would kind of require you more to use more interrupts, so I feel like this one is like passively just better. Beside of that, we have this one here, Hammer and Anvil, which is basically every time you Judgment critical strike, it causes shockwave around the target, dealing damage at the location. So basically, every time you Judgment crit, it just like gives you a free damage like around the target, which is pretty cool. Beside of that, you can probably see that I have not picked Blessing of Freedom. A lot of paladins now is going to be screaming and be like, what? You cannot play without a freaking blessing of freedom. Well, the thing is, like, this build is more supposed to be like casual friendly. We're not supposed to have that many spells we are like supposed to cast all the time. So I'm thinking with this build here, it's more like me focused. Like I'm only thinking about me. So that's why I took Steed of Liberty instead, because now when you use your Divine Steed, it basically casts Blessing of Freedom on yourself. So you can get away, you can get away from everything without any issues. But your party members, they have to figure it out yourself. Because some people also who use my builds, they like to also play these builds with controller, which is also very nice. So I feel like this is a nice little trade-off. We cannot get rid of Blessing of Sacrifice, even though that one is also a pretty cool one. But we cannot get rid of this one here, because then it's basically gonna break everything we're getting down here. So we gotta keep that one for now. Beside of that, I have also taken Golden Path, so every time you stand in Consecration, it heals you and 5 allies within for 5,000 every 0.8 seconds, which is insanely nice because you are using Consecration all the time as a protection warrior, paladin, sorry. So you will be keeping standing in this, and it will just like, it keeps healing passively, which is nice, especially for delves and solo content. We also have this one here, Lightforge Blessing, so every time you use your Shield of Righteous, it heals you and 2 nearby allies for 1% of your maximum health. When you are a tank, you have quite a lot of health, so basically whenever you use Shield of Righteous, which is inside your single button rotation, you can see this Shield of Righteous, where are you, that one. Every time you use that one, it's going to be like healing you for 1% of your maximum health, which is quite a lot as a tank again. Beside of that, we are using pretty much all the standards over here. Again, this is a very standard mythic build that most people use. The only thing I've just changed around is like taking this one here instead of like Blessing of Freedom. Normally they also have like, Blessing of... Oh, they actually also have Blessing of Protection. Again, it's another spell you have to cast on an ally, but I'm trying to like make this build a bit more solo friendly, like, or casual friendly. Group dungeon, like where you think about yourself. So I'm kind of like trying to remove many buttons that you have to like cast on other people, just to make it more... Again, it's still a super good tank build, and you can still do very good dungeons and all that, but it's just like we're just removing 2 spells you have to cast on other people. So yeah, I feel like it's good. But yeah, but beside of that, I think everything else over here is pretty standard. We have talked about the hero talents, and then we have talked... Well, now we're going to talk about the protection tree. Protection tree, what I have focused over here is I have focused on a lot of stuff that increases our Avenger Shield, basically making Avenger Shield better. First of all, we have Avenger Shield, which is our main pulling spell. It will automatically be used in the single button rotation, so don't worry about it. It will automatically be used all the time. We have also taken so that every time you avoid, when you avoid a melee attack or use Blazed Hammer, you have a 50% chance to reset the remaining cooldown of Avenger Shield and also reduce the cooldown of Judgment by 3. So basically, we have a big chance to reset our cooldown of Avenger Shield. Beside of that, when you use Avenger Shield, your block chance is increased by 10%. Also, Avenger Shield also shields you for 8 seconds, absorbing 60% as much damage as dealt, up to 50% of your maximum health, which basically means every time we use Avenger Shield, we get a very big shield on ourselves, which is super, super cool. Like, that's just like, imagine if it keeps like resetting, we will just be spamming shields on ourselves all the time, so it's really nice. Also, we added so that it actually burns, so basically it's going to add like a 5-second burn on the enemies. We also did this so it jumps to 2 additional targets. And also here, for each target hit by Avenger Shield, you gain 3% parry for 15 seconds. Beside of that, we have 2 more things that buffs it. Each enemy hit by Avenger Shield reduce the remaining cooldown of Guardian's Asian King, which is this one here. Basically, it's a very strong cooldown that has 5-minute cooldown, and it basically reduces all damage taken by 50. Super, super strong. But basically, this one here now is going to reduce the cooldown, so we don't have to wait 5 minutes all the time before we can use it. Very useful, but also, when you drop below 30% health, you become infused with Guardian of Ancient King for 4 seconds, and this can only happen every 45 seconds. So basically, every time you drop below 30% health, you will automatically get this one on you for 4 seconds. Super cool as well. And lastly, upgrade for Avenger Shield is increase the damage of your next Avenger Shield increases the damage of your next Shield of the Righteous by 20% for each target hit by Avenger Shield, stacking it up to 5 times and increases the radius by 6 yards. So basically, imagine your Avenger Shield jumping between 5 targets. It's going to increase the damage by your Shield of Righteous by a lot, and also making it like a tank in a bigger radius in front of you. So that's basically how we are going really hard in on Avenger Shield. There is of course still a bit more things you could choose up here, but we are not going to go into those because that's more like single target focused and so on, so on, so on. So we're not focusing on those. Beside of that, we also have this one here, Fade in the Light, cast a Word of Glory, grant you additional 30% block chance. So basically, when you use your self-healing Word of Glory, wasn't it? Yeah, it gives you like a 30% block chance, which is pretty cool. So if you can, try use Word of Glory, you know, just like a couple of random times, because it's going to increase like quite a lot. We have also taken Eye of Tyr. The reason why I like Eye of Tyr is because it's basically is inside our single bot rotation, so you don't have to think about it. It's just automatically in there. And we have also done so it deals 300% increased damage, and it has a 33% reduced cooldown. We have not taken the spells that basically heals other people more, like these ones here, where we can actually heal other people more. It's very nice if you like play kind of like a support tank style, because then you can help the healers, keeping everyone else up. But that's not really the point of this build here. The build is like supposed to be you are the carry tank, the tank that carries the other people in the group. So yeah. But I think that's the most important things with this build here. We of course also have Art Defender, which is a great cooldown, reduce all damage you take by 30, and if you have an attack that would have killed you while you have it on, it basically brings you up to 20% health again. We are of course, so this might be worth mentioning. Normally, most people play with Blessing of Spell Warding, which is blesses a party or raid member, grant immunity to magical damage and harmful effects for 10 seconds, cannot be used on attack with a Forbearance, causes Forbearance for 30 seconds. So the reason for why I don't want this one here is because, again, the same reason I don't want to use Protection, Blessing of Protection or Blessing of Freedom, because it gives you an additional spell you have to throw on someone else, which I don't feel like this build needs. So instead what I picked this one here, which basically makes Ardent Defender reduce the damage you take by an additional 10%. So our very strong cooldown that only has a 1.4 minute cooldown is basically decreasing, well, the damage you take by 10%, which I feel is pretty cool. We have also taken Avenging Wrath, which of course is our, very good spell that increasing your damage, healing, and a critical strike by 20% for 25 seconds. Also, Judgment generates 1 additional Holy Power, and allowing Hammer of Wrath to be used on any target, like no matter what. But I think that is the most important talents to mention for this video here. We of course also have a few things that increases our block chance, which is very nice. Using Shield of Righteous gives us more stamina. But yeah, overall I think that's the most important things. Just one notice. This one here, every free Shield of Righteous makes your next Word of Glory cost no Holy Power, and it has a stacks of 2. This is very solo friendly, very self-healing friendly, so every time you use your Shield of Righteous 3 times, which costs Holy Power, your basically Word of Glory is going to be free, which is pretty nice. So you don't really have to think too much about using Word of Glory. Wait till it actually shines up, like, it kind of like blinks, because you're waiting for that free proc. So yeah. But overall, that's the build. It's very focused on self-sustain, self-heal, being a carry tank in like casual content. So yeah, overall, pretty cool build. So as the agenda states, we are now going to talk about rotation. So how do you actually play this? What are our cooldowns? What should we be doing when we play this spec? And so on, so on, so on. Of course, what I recommend is putting on your Devotion Aura, which is basically reducing damage taken by 3%. So let's just cut that one off. We want Devotion Aura on, just default, because it's going to reduce the damage everyone takes. Very, very nice. Beside of that, we are playing Lightsmith, which basically means we're going to have this spell here called Holy Bulwark, which is, as we can see here, while wielding a Holy Bulwark, gain an Absorb Shield for 15% of your max health, an additional 2% every 2 seconds. Also, when you use it one more time, you also get well, that was the second one. There's Sacred Weapon. Your spells and ability have a chance to deal 200 additional damage, 200,000 additional damage, or healing to a nearby target. You have 2 traits, so basically you can use it twice. You can use it like 2 times in a row, and then it will give you both Holy Bulwark, which gives you shield, or Sacred Weapon, which will do damage or healing. And because we have, I can't remember which one it is, but basically I think it's this one here. If you use this one here on yourself, it will also automatically throw to some of your allies. So don't worry about clicking on someone in your party when you use it. Just, have the target on the enemy, because when you use it, it will automatically jump to whoever is like close to you. So yeah, don't think about it, just use it and it will automatically go. Also, when you're using your Avenging Wrath, it summons an additional Sacred Weapon, and during the Avenging Wrath, your Sacred Weapon casts spells on your target and echoes the effects of your holy power abilities. So basically, our Avenging Wrath is also synergized with it, and it does a lot of like cool stuff. So when you're using Avenging Wrath, it summons Sacred Weapons, it deals double damage and stuff like that. But going into this rotation totally, you have, of course, your number 1, which again is our single button rotation here. When you have it down here, you can see here that you have a single button rotation, and when you press it, it will automatically use the spells in rotation. Keep in mind, it will also use your cooldowns like Divine Toll. So basically, when I go to this one here and use one, it will start using Divine Toll, and then I can use my Avenging Shield and Judgment, and Shield. Basically, you can see it just keeps going through the rotation. I don't have to mention all the abilities it uses. But you basically just press 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and you can see it keeps trying to use Avenging Shield all the time because it knows that it's giving us a shield. So as you can see right now, I'm not losing HP at all because my Avenging Shield is just, it keeps like giving us a shield. Whenever your Word of Glory is glowing up, that is because of this one here, that we have used Shielded Righteous 3 times, so now we can use it for free. So you basically just use it because it's not going to cost anything, it's just free, and that's it. And now you can see we can basically have 2 stacks of them. Isn't it this one? Your next Word of Glory costs no holy power, exactly. So whenever it glows, you can just use it, boom, heal up. But as you can see now, it's not able to deal any damage of me. And whenever I actually take damage, I will use my glowing Word of Glory. So as you can see, it's just funny because, this build is just so overpowered. I just press 1, I deal insane amount of damage, I get insane amount of shields. Whenever I need my healing, I can use my number 2, which will always almost have 2 charges ready for you because you only use it whenever you need like healing. So yeah, you just like use number 2 and you use number 2. So yeah, pretty overpowered and awesome build, I would say. You also have number 3, which is Taunt. Basically, if you lose the aggro on an enemy or something like that, you can use 3 to taunt it. Number 4 is our Interrupt, and people like when we interrupt. So if the bosses throw like a spell, you can see you can interrupt, you use number 4. And we of course have Flash of Light in case something goes really wrong and you really need that extra healing. Then we have Flash of Light you can spam. Or if you have a party member that is about to die and the healer for some reason cannot heal them, you can spam whole Flash of Light on them as well. Then we of course also have our number 6, which we already talked about. You can use it twice to get the both abilities. So now we got like a big shield from it, we got a big extra damage, and you just keep pressing 1 again. And you can see here that from our healing right now, we're getting a lot of healing from that Holy Bulwark, because it does like an insane amount of like job when it comes to absorbing. Also healing from Sacred Weapon, Bulwark Order, and yeah, just like it's just impressive. You don't have as much passive healing like the Protection Warrior or the Blood Death Knight, but that's why we have our Word of Glory. That's why we have this one here, which keeps making our Word of Glory free. So yeah, Blood Death Knight has like passive healing coming all the time with Death Strike and all the everything else. Warrior has like, if you seen my Warrior build, it has a lot of passive healing as well, coming all the time from all different passive stuff. But the key element from Paladin, Protection Paladin, is that we keep having shields from Avenger's Shield, and we have free, like we can use a free Word of Glory like twice all the time. So that's where our healing comes from, just so you know. That shield is coming from number 1, healing is coming from number 2, backup healing from number 5, very big shield from number 6. So yeah, that's like kind of like your main rotation, I would say. Then, of course, we have cleans. It's up to you if you actually want cleans. You can also remove cleans and put it down to something else. For example, this one here, we could put it down. For example, we could remove cleans and put it... okay, actually, we cannot do that because then we need more talent trees up here. So you could use it on something else, like Blessing of Protection or whatever you want up here. Like, it's up to you. You could also get some more speed if you wanted. But cleans is sometimes great, like if you want to like help your team, if you see someone getting because it can remove a poison or disease, so if you see someone getting a poison on a disease, or even on yourself, then you can remove it from yourself. You just target the mob, you don't even target anything else, just target them up, and when you use cleans, it's going to cleanse yourself. So it's up to you if you want that one. Q, we have Divine Steed, of course, increases our speed by 4 seconds, and also because we have this talent here, it gives us a protection of Blessing of Freedom on ourselves. So no matter what you're slowed with, whatever you interrupted, like, you know, whatever makes you not move fast or cannot move, your steed will get you out. Then we also have Ardent Defender, which is reducing all the damage by 30, and if you get a hit that was supposed to kill you, it will not kill you while it's on, it will just bring you back to 20% health. Then we also have, very, very nice, our Avenging Wrath, which of course is very nice because it increases like the damage, the healing, like everything. But because of this one here, it also does a lot of more. So you can see now when I press it, it basically summoned a sacred weapon to me, a sacred weapon to someone else. And now it will just like, you know, duplicate damage abilities and stuff like that. So it's, you just know when you press Avenging Wrath, you are dealing a lot of damage, a lot of healing, like stuff like that. And of course, while it's active, we're just waiting for the Shield of Righteous to use 3 times. And there we go. Now we can use Word of Glory for free. And Word of Glory for free again. And look at that. You just can't die. I just want to check something. Word of Glory. Yeah, we have it from there. Yeah, exactly. It is this one here that basically does it so that we keep refreshing it. Besides that, we have our Divine Shield. The cool thing about Divine Shield, you might be thinking like, okay, but why should I use Divine Shield? Because when I use Divine Shield, it basically removes all enemies from me and they would kill everyone else in my party. Well, let me tell you. So here we have this one here saying, removing harmful effects with Divine Shield heals you for 10% of each of the effects removed. This heals cannot exceed 30% of your maximum health. So basically now when you use Divine Shield, if you have any like harmful effects on you, it will remove them and heals you for a lot. Divine Shield may now also be cast while Forbearance is active, which isn't really that useful anyway, because we're not going to be using Blessing of Protection on ourselves or something like that. But it basically means that it's going to self-heal. You're still going to ask me now, but what about the aggro? It's going to remove all the aggro from me when I use it. Well, well, well. This one over here, not that one, this one here, Final Stand. During Divine Shield, all targets within 15 yards are taunted. So that basically means... Wrong spell. That basically means when I use my Divine Shield, it taunts everyone around me, as you can see, for like 8 seconds. It's a massive taunt. So for example, warriors, they have this shout that taunts everyone around you. What you can do is you can use Divine Shield and it taunts everyone around you as well. Very nice, very fancy. Well, it's actually taunting the entire 8 seconds it's up. So now Divine Shield will heal you if you have some harmful effects on you, and it taunts everything. So don't worry about losing all your aggro when using it. It will keep the aggro for you. Then, of course, we have Guardian of Ancient Kings, which is reducing all damage by 50%. This one here. And keep in mind that it will, every time, what was it? Every time we, what was it? This one here. Every time each enemy hit by Avenger's Shield, reduce the remaining cooldown by 1 second. So, of course, when we are fighting against one mob, it, of course, reduces the cooldown very little, because it doesn't hit that many mobs. But if we went over here, where we have 5 mobs, and basically throwing Avenging Shield on them, it's going to reduce the cooldown by a lot. So we can see, like, there we go. Like, if you saw that, it was like removing it, like, it was actually moving quite fast. We can see in 2 seconds, if we can actually get it back again. There we go. So now look at it and see when I use it, it kind of like moves down, which is very cool. And of course, by hitting that many, we're going to get like a very, very big shield. And even though I don't know which icon is the shield, that's a bit embarrassing. Because when we actually use the shield, there we go. That one, Bulwark of Order, that one. That's the one that gives us a shield. So it actually gave us a shield on 270k, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so of course that's our random. That's the one that gives us reduced damage by 50. We also have Lay on Hands, very very nice. It's a spell that basically heals a friendly target for 100% of your maximum health. Also grants the target 30% increased armor. Cannot be used on a target with 4 brilliance. Costs 4 brilliance for 30 seconds. So basically, that means if you use your shield, you will technically not be able to use Lay on Hands on you for the next 30 seconds because you're going to have 4 brilliance. You can of course also use Lay on Hands on yourself. You see that's healing you for 13 million HP, basically heals you for full. But now, the cool thing about this is now, even if you use Lay on Hands, you can still use Divine Shield, because this one here does, so we still can use Divine Shield even though we have 4 brilliance. You can see this debuff here you get from using powerful spells. So you can technically use Lay on Hands first and still use Divine Shield after. So it's kind of like up to you. If you're about to die, it's up to you if you want to use Divine Shield first or if you want to use Lay on Hands, but you could technically use Lay on Hands first and then Divine Shield after. So yeah, that's our main defensive cooldowns, I would say. Like, that's our main rotation, that's our main defensives. Then of course you have a combat rest. Remember it, because if the healer dies, it's up to you to actually get him back again or her back. So very important, keep it down so you're ready to combat rest someone who dies. We also have crowd control. We have Hammer of Justice, which is basically stunning someone for 6 seconds. So you can see, boom, stunned by 6 seconds. Very nice if, for example, your interrupt isn't ready or you want to have less damage, because of course when mobs are stunned, they cannot deal damage, which is nice. In case you have more enemies, like let's imagine all these 5 here were casting a fireball on you and you're like, okay, this is gonna hurt, let me just interrupt them all. We also have blinding light, which is basically going to interrupt them all. It's gonna blind them all so they like wander around like this, like dazed, and it stops them casting. So very nice if you have like 5 mobs on you and they all casting something you really don't want them to cast, then you can use blinding light. Your normal interrupt on number 4 is of course only interrupting 1. Blinding light is interrupting, I think, yeah, it's basically dazzling light in all directions. Yeah, basically everyone in 10 yards, which is pretty cool. And then you of course have Hammer of Justice that only interrupts and stun 1 target. Then we also have Blessing of Sacrifice. I know I was trying to avoid having any blessings, but we cannot avoid this one here because we need these things down here. So basically, Blessings of Sacrifice is, if you want to use it, it's pretty cool. You could use it on a mob, like one of your party members, and then 30% of all the damage the damage will reduce by 30%. So they take 30% less damage, and all that damage that is reduced goes to you. So you basically take all that damage that was reduced to you. It lasts 12 seconds or until you get down to 20% health, then it stops. So it's if the healer's taking a lot of damage or something like that, you're afraid he's gonna die, you can throw it on him. Again, it's not like in normal dungeon, heroic dungeons, all that, it's not that important to use, really. Like it's probably more for like higher content where it really is reliable. Last spell we have is Rite of Sanctification, which is basically just giving a buff, like it's enchanting your weapon. You keep using it. You need to use it every hour. So remember, it's only on for an hour. You can see it up here as well. But every hour you need to put it up again. It increases your armor by 5% and your primary stat, which is basically strength. So basically increasing strength. And it comes from this one here. This one. You could also have more stamina. And also a chance to you causing holy power abilities to sometimes unleash a burst of healing around a target, which is pretty cool. Like it keeps like doing passive healing, a little chance for it to happen. But the 2% additional strength is, I would say, better because it just all increases its healing, damage, just everything, just overpowered everything. So yeah, that's the rotation. Pretty much that's the entire rotation. Spam 1, use 2 whenever it glows and you need healing. Use 6 whenever you want to, like, I would say use the 6 all the time. So basically, actually, we could do like this. Just keep using 3 all the time. Never have it on cooldown. Just keep using it. Use 2 whenever it shines and you need healing. Use 1 all the time. Use 4 whenever you need to have aggro. 5 for interrupts. 6 for backup healing. And then again, I told you about all the cooldowns above up here. So yeah, So the only part we're now missing is the gameplay part. So let's go to the gameplay part. I'm gonna run a dungeon, and you'll see me play the dungeon, and I'm gonna just talk about how it feels to play. So yeah, dungeon time. All right, hope you're ready to see some gameplay on this Night Elf Paladin. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So for the start, you can see now that we're going to get some mobs. I would probably use like twice my number 3, the bulwarks. And then we're just going to be spamming 1, 1, 1, 1. Again, all my spells is basically AoE spells. So I don't even have to like worry about not holding aggro on all of them, because they just keep using AoE spells. AoE, AoE, AoE. I would say it's really, really good. Now we can see I got 2 stacks of healing ready, so whenever like I go like far down, let's say in case the healer doesn't do anything, yeah, we can basically just... Taunt is also great in case that your spells are not using in the right order you want, like not using AoE, you can use your taunt on some of the mobs to make sure that they actually attack you. But as you can see, we do quite good self-healing. You can see we keep like being number 1. Oh, so it's time to use some mounts. There we go. And I love that it uses my cooldown as well. Using number 3 again. Where's the bomb? There we go. You are in combat. Ah, we got a combat bug. There's probably some mobs over here that... That usually doesn't happen, but I guess some of them probably like attack these mobs. And now we have to get rid of them. But again, just pressing 1. I think that worked. Now they of course went to the other boat without me. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and they did this one without me. And now tanking, using number 3 to get that sacred weapon, and then basically just spamming 1 now. Interrupting on 5. Look at that, no one else wanted to interrupt, so we just did it. Now we mount up. And fly through these orbs. Basically, we don't have to do that because I already have the buff up. There we go. Let's see if we can go in and finish her. Nah, we have to do it one more time. But yeah, I would say pretty magical build. Like again, if you're really like thinking about trying tanking and you never really done much of a tank, I recommend trying this build. It is easy, it is fun, it is carrying, like you feel like you really can carry like the entire group, which, yeah, which is nice. Of course, it's not meant to be like mythic raiding and so on, but still pretty cool build. Now we attack the boss without killing his minions, so he can be a little extra... Oh god, who pulled all of this? Now we might have to use a bit of the self-healing. We did have on hard mode, but as you can see, I literally just pressed 1. It keeps aggro on everything for me, and whenever like I see someone who's about to die, I would press on them and press 2. Back to the ship. Now we go for a little mini boss. And as you can see, great damage, great healing. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm a Paladin Net Night Elf, it's because I used a toy called Atomic Recalibrator, which changes the race on your character. Pretty cool. Let's choose number 3 to get rid of that one. That person is supposed to go over there. Thank you for that. Now let's see if anyone is actually going to use the bombs, though. Oh, okay, we have a deep. We have someone who's using the bombs. Thank you for that. Let's put up some shield. There we go. I think you can still do the trick, can't you? I think you can still do the cheating trick where you basically just take the orbs and you fly over here, because it has this thing that basically yeah, that's the thing, because he is actually using it all the time, so you could just fly over here. You don't have to do that entire thing, which is pretty fun. There we go. And he's already dead. So yeah, we did pretty much this dungeon in like 7 minutes, and let's, for fun, look at the stats. After the loading screen, let's see here. For all data. And you can do it here. For all data. So as you can see, quite good. Second best damage. Best healing. Of course, I used a lot of... The healer didn't, like, it's hard for the healer to top me because I'm keeping making shields. And when I have shields on, he cannot heal me. So he's not able to really get, like, any healing out, if you know what I mean. But yeah, pretty nice with the damage as well. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this video here. I think this build turned out really, really great. Fun build. Easy to play. You can do... I mean... You can do basically any content in this game with this build here. So yeah. Again, if you want to have the talent export, the UI export, you have to join my Discord. Again, you can see down in the description of the video, and there will be a link to my Discord where there will be a room called Protection Paladin with both the UI and the talents. So yeah. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next single button build video. And in case you want to have a request for the next video I should be making, like which class spec it should be for, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.